A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Seneca. Every challenge, every difficulty, every test we face is an opportunity for growth. And where does that growth begin? In the first moments of the day, before the world rushes in with its noise and distractions, before the demands of life pull you in countless directions, there exists a brief yet powerful window of time, a moment to train your mind, strengthen your resolve, and prepare yourself to meet the day with clarity and purpose. This is the foundation of a Stoic morning routine. When Marcus Aurelius spoke of the quality of thoughts determining happiness, he wasn't merely reflecting on an idea. He was providing a formula for resilience. He understood that the way we think, especially in the morning, sets the tone for everything that follows. He started his mornings by reminding himself of the nature of life, the difficulties he might encounter, and the impermanence of all things. This was not an exercise in negativity, but in fortification. By accepting reality as it is, rather than as we wish it to be, we free ourselves from disappointment and frustration. Imagine moving through your day with that level of control, no longer at the mercy of circumstances or the moods of others, but grounded in your own inner stability. In a world filled with distractions and pressures, most people wake up and immediately surrender their minds to the outside world, checking notifications, reacting to problems, allowing stress to dictate their emotions. But what if, instead of being led by external forces, you took charge of your day from the very first moment? What if, before stepping out of bed, you anchored yourself in wisdom and discipline? This is the essence of Stoicism, not about controlling what happens, but about mastering your response to it. And once you master that, everything else in life begins to follow. It's about finding calm in the storm and happiness in the simplest of things. It's about transforming your mornings from something you dread into a powerful launchpad for a day filled with purpose and joy. So, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by the noise of life, if you've ever struggled to find a moment's peace, or if you're just curious about how ancient wisdom can be your secret weapon in the 21st century, stick around. This might just be the video that changes everything for you. Let's dive into the Stoic strategies that can help us craft not just a morning routine, but a life filled with intention, resilience, and true happiness. I implore you to give your full attention to this video from start to finish. If you've made it here, you're not like everyone else. You're a standout, someone who seeks depth and wisdom. Your dedication to absorbing this content in full sets you apart even further. This might sound like a fancy term, but it's actually a beautifully simple concept that comes from Japan. It's about discovering that sweet spot where your passions, skills, societal needs, and what you can be paid for all intersect. It's your unique reason for being. Imagine waking up each morning fueled by a clear purpose that excites you, something that makes the thought of hitting snooze just irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius wasn't just about enduring life's hardships with a stiff upper lip. He was deeply invested in the idea that we're all here to play our part to contribute something meaningful. He urged us to approach each day as an opportunity to fulfill our role with integrity and passion. Now, think about that in the context of Ikigai. It's not just about finding what you love. It's about aligning it with what the world needs and what you're good at. That's where the magic happens. But how do you start uncovering your Ikigai? It begins with some introspection. Ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What am I good at? What does the world need from me? What can I get paid for? It's okay if the answers don't come to you right away. This is about the journey, exploring different facets of your life and interests and seeing where they converge. This quest for your Ikigai isn't just some fluffy feel-good exercise. It's about setting the foundation for a life that's rich in meaning and satisfaction when you align your daily actions with your deeper purpose. Even the mundane tasks gain significance. Your relationships start to flourish because you're more present and engaged. Your creativity soars because you're aligned with your true passions and overall happiness. Well, it becomes more of a constant companion than a fleeting visitor. So, as you think about setting your alarm for tomorrow morning, consider what Ikigai means for you. What could be so compelling that you'd leap out of bed eager to start the day? Remember, this isn't about overnight transformation. It's a process, a gentle unfolding and, as Marcus Aurelius would remind us, it's about doing the work day by day with dedication and honor. Finding your Ikigai isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's about embracing your role in the larger tapestry of life, contributing your unique thread to the ever-evolving human story. The ancient Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, were big on the idea that our actions should be purposeful, not just random acts thrown into the wind, but deliberate steps guided by our inner compass. This philosophy extends beautifully into how we prepare for the day ahead, starting the night before. Here's the deal. Think about the way you end your day. The final moments before sleep hold more power than you might realize. Your mind is a sponge, absorbing everything you feed it, whether it's the noise of social media, the stress of unfinished tasks, or the calm of an intentional wind-down routine. If you fill your evening with distractions, overstimulation, and late-night indulgences, your body and mind never truly reset. You wake up groggy, sluggish, and already behind before the day has even begun. But if you treat your evening as a sacred time to prepare for the next morning, you give yourself an unshakable advantage. The Stoics understood this deeply. Your future self is shaped by the choices you make today, and nowhere is this more evident than in your nighttime habits. Marcus Aurelius would reflect on his actions before bed, asking himself whether he lived in alignment with his values. Seneca believed in reviewing the day, identifying where he could improve and letting go of anything outside his control. This wasn't just philosophy, it was a practical way to ensure each day was better than the last. What if you ended your night the same way? What if, instead of numbing your mind with endless entertainment, you spent a few moments in quiet reflection? What if you chose to read something meaningful, set your intentions for the next day, or simply allowed yourself to rest without distraction? Imagine the difference this could make, not just in how you sleep, but in how you wake up, how you think, and how you carry yourself through the day. It's easy to fall into the habit of pushing yourself until exhaustion, treating sleep as an afterthought. But what if you saw rest as an essential part of your success? Your brain thrives on order, and when you create an evening routine that prioritizes peace, you set yourself up for mental clarity, focus, and resilience. This isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. The freedom to wake up feeling fully recharged, to start your morning with purpose instead of scrambling to catch up. A well-structured evening isn't about denying yourself enjoyment. It's about choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. And when you begin to see your nights as the foundation of your mornings, everything changes. For instance, limiting screen time an hour before bed isn't about denying yourself relaxation. It's about giving your mind the cue that it's time to wind down, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Planning a bit for the next day can also be a game changer. It could be as simple as jotting down your top 3 priorities for tomorrow. This act alone sets a clear direction, ensuring you wake up with a sense of purpose. And here's where the Stoic mindset really shines. It's about acknowledging what's within our control and letting go of what's not. We might not be able to control every detail of our day, but we can certainly influence how we start it. And let's not forget about some deep breathing or meditation to calm the mind. This practice isn't just fluff. It's a powerful tool that signals to your body it's time to rest. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly helps reduce stress, lower your heart rate, and prepare your body for a deep restorative sleep. Imagine waking up not to the blaring sound of notifications or a flood of emails demanding your attention, but to a quiet moment of clarity, where you take control of your mind before the world tries to do it for you. That moment, before the demands of the day set in, is sacred. It is a chance to decide how you will respond to life instead of merely reacting to it. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius, even as the ruler of Rome, ensured that his mornings were spent grounding himself in his own thoughts, rather than allowing external forces to dictate his mood or actions. If a man burdened with ruling an empire could carve out this time, then surely in our modern world we can do the same. When you start your morning with intention, you are no longer at the mercy of the unpredictable nature of the day. You step into it with a sense of purpose and composure, unaffected by the trivial distractions that pull others off course. Instead of immediately checking your phone or diving into the chaos of daily responsibilities, imagine beginning with a few deep breaths, a moment of gratitude, or even a simple reflection on what truly matters. These small acts create a mental barrier between you and the external world, reminding you that you hold the power over your reactions, not circumstances or fleeting emotions. The first thoughts that enter your mind upon waking shape the direction of your day. If you start in a state of anxiety, chasing deadlines and distractions, that energy follows you. But if you begin with stillness and clarity, you move through life with the kind of steadiness that the Stoics revered. A mindful morning isn't just about productivity, it's about self-mastery. Instead, imagine starting your day with a moment of stillness, allowing yourself to fully wake up before the world starts making demands on your attention. When you resist the urge to check your phone first thing in the morning, you reclaim control over your thoughts. You give yourself space to decide what truly deserves your focus, rather than letting external forces dictate your emotions and priorities. The Stoics believed that our power lies in how we respond, not in what happens to us. And in today's hyper-connected world, taking charge of the first moments of your day is an act of discipline and self-mastery. Think of your mind like a still pond in the early morning. The moment you check your phone, it's like throwing a stone into the water, sending ripples in every direction. One notification, one piece of bad news, one urgent email can disrupt your peace before you've even had a chance to set your own intentions. Marcus Aurelius urged himself to rise each morning with a sense of purpose, reminding himself that the day ahead would be full of challenges, distractions, and emotions beyond his control. But instead of dreading them, he prepared for them. He didn't allow the outside world to dictate his mindset. He trained himself to be steady, to be unshaken. And that's exactly what a mindful morning can do for you. By resisting distractions and choosing where to place your attention, you build resilience. You are no longer tossed around by every new piece of information that comes your way. You develop the ability to focus on what truly matters, and in doing so, you set a foundation of clarity and strength that carries through the rest of your day. Most people wake up and immediately dive into the chaos of the day, reacting to notifications, emails, and obligations before they even have a moment to collect themselves. But imagine waking up and moving through your morning with clarity instead of urgency. Imagine taking control of the first moments of your day, not because you have to, but because you choose to. The Stoics understood that true power lies in discipline, in training the mind to be steady even before the storm arrives. And in our modern world, where distractions are endless, The way you spend your morning can be the difference between a day dictated by stress and a day guided by intention. It's easy to think that a peaceful morning is a luxury, something reserved for people who don't have responsibilities pressing on them. But that's not true. The reality is, the more demanding your life is, the more essential it becomes to create space in your morning for yourself. A mind that is constantly in reaction mode will always feel overwhelmed, drained, and frustrated. But a mind that has been prepared, that has been trained through deliberate practice, can handle the challenges of the day with a sense of calm and focus. This is why ancient Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus emphasized the power of reflection and stillness. They knew that the person who starts the day with a composed mind is far more powerful than the one who rushes into it unprepared. So, how do you create a morning routine that aligns with this Stoic principle? It's not about overwhelming yourself with strict schedules or filling every minute with productivity. It's about simplifying, cutting away what doesn't serve you, and ensuring that the first part of your day is spent on what strengthens you. Maybe it's reading a few pages of philosophy to remind yourself of the bigger picture before the day's distractions try to consume you. Maybe it's writing down your thoughts, organizing your mind before external demands start flooding in. Maybe it's sitting in quiet meditation, allowing yourself to simply exist before the world starts pulling you in different directions. Whatever it is, it should be something that centers you, something that reminds you that you are in control of how you respond to the world. The modern world will tell you that you need to start your day with speed, with urgency, with a need to catch up. But the Stoic approach teaches something different. That slowing down, even for a few moments, is not weakness, but strength. When you intentionally design your morning to create clarity instead of chaos, you step into your day with the ability to handle anything that comes your way. The goal is not perfection, the goal is presence. When you take ownership of the way your morning begins, you set a standard for how you will carry yourself through the rest of the day. And that, more than anything else, is what will separate you from those who are constantly at the mercy of the world around them. So tomorrow, challenge yourself to start the day on your terms. Resist the urge to dive into the digital world first thing. Instead, anchor yourself in the present moment, savoring the peace and potential that the morning holds. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to live more intentionally, more serenely, and more in line with who you aspire to be. Let's make our mornings a testament to that ambition, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and the unwavering focus on what truly matters. Stoicism, at its core, is about understanding what is within our control and acting with virtue and intention in those areas. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. These guys weren't just talking about enduring life's hardships with a stiff upper lip. They were advocating for a proactive engagement with life, taking charge of our actions and our mindset. Waking up consistently as a practice that embodies this philosophy. It's a declaration that we are in control of how we start our day, that we are not at the mercy of whims or external pressures. Building a life as Stoicism suggests, step by step, with contentment in each action, is a powerful concept. It reminds us that big changes start with small, consistent actions. Waking up at the same time each morning might seem like a small thing, but it's a cornerstone habit that sets the stage for everything else. It's about creating a stable foundation for your day, where you're not rushing from the moment you open your eyes, but rather starting with a sense of control and purpose. But here's the thing, consistency is challenging. It's supposed to be the early days of trying to wake up at the same time. Each morning can feel like an uphill battle. Your bed feels more comfortable than ever, and the temptation to hit snooze just one more time can feel irresistible. This is where the Stoic practice of perseverance comes in. It's about reminding yourself why you're doing this, about the person you're becoming through this discipline. It's about seeing beyond the immediate comfort and focusing on the long-term benefits this habit will bring into your life. Becoming a morning person, then, is not just about the mornings themselves. It's about embodying the qualities that make you resilient, focused, and intentional throughout your day. It's a practice in self-mastery, in aligning your actions with your values, and in cultivating the kind of life you want to live, one morning at a time. So how do we make consistency our ally? Start by setting a clear intention the night before. Remind yourself why waking up at a specific time is important to you. Is it to have more quiet time in the morning for reading or meditation? Is it to exercise or simply to start your day in a more relaxed and controlled manner? Then create an environment that supports this habit. Maybe it's going to bed a bit earlier to ensure you get enough sleep, or keeping your curtains slightly open to let the natural light wake you up gently and when it gets tough. Remember the Stoic belief in the power of our own will and the importance of acting according to our principles. Each morning that you wake up at your chosen time, you're not just starting your day, you're reinforcing a commitment to yourself, to your growth, and to living a life of intention and purpose. Amidst all this talk of discipline, consistency, and waking up with the sun, it's paramount to remember one thing. We're human, and being human means we're beautifully complex creatures with brains that often prefer the path of least resistance, the instant gratification route. This is precisely why embarking on new habits like transforming our mornings can initially feel like an uphill battle. Yet there's something incredibly freeing in acknowledging this fact. It's not a flaw, it's just part of the human experience. Now let's channel some Stoicism into this concept. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-compassion and understanding. Alongside its calls for discipline and resilience, Marcus Aurelius in his personal writings often reminded himself to be patient and forgiving with his own shortcomings. He knew that berating oneself for every slip-up was not the path to growth. Instead, he advocated for recognizing our errors, learning from them, and then letting them go. This approach is crucial when we're trying to cultivate new morning routines, or any habit for that matter. Those first few days or even weeks can be tough. Your alarm goes off, and every fiber of your being wants to stay cocooned in the warmth of your bed. And let's be honest, there will be days when you'll give in to that desire. That's okay. The key is what you do next. Do you beat yourself up, spiraling into a cycle of guilt and self-criticism, or do you take a breath, forgive yourself, and see the next morning as a fresh opportunity to try again? Forgiveness and patience with ourselves are not signs of weakness. They're indicators of strength and wisdom. They mean we're in it for the long haul, ready to navigate the ups and downs with grace. This Stoic practice of self-compassion is about understanding our nature, working with it, and gently nudging ourselves towards the habits and life we aspire to. Moreover, taking it easy isn't about making excuses or allowing ourselves to perpetually fall short of our goals. It's about recognizing that growth is a process filled with learning curves and setbacks. It's about understanding that each new day brings with it a new set of challenges and opportunities, and it's in this daily renewal that we find our strength and resilience. So as you work on embracing those early mornings or any new habit, remember to take it easy on yourself, celebrate the small victories, learn from the setbacks, and approach each day with a heart ready to try again. This isn't just about becoming a morning person. It's about cultivating a mindset that's prepared to face life's challenges with a blend of determination and kindness. Consider the simple act of placing your alarm clock across the room. It's not just about making it physically harder to snooze. It's a statement. It's a commitment to start the day on your terms, to rise despite the comfort of the bed's embrace. It's a small act of defense against the inerty of sleep and comfort, a step towards embracing the day with intention. Similarly, making your bed each morning might feel like a trivial task, especially when you're the only one who'll see it. Yet it's so much more than smoothing sheets and fluffing pillows. It's an exercise in care, in telling yourself that your environment and how you engage with it matters. It's about creating a space that reflects the order and respect you're cultivating within yourself. These small victories, as Marcus Aurelius would likely argue, are the building blocks of a disciplined life. They're the everyday choices that, while easy to overlook, cumulatively mold our character. Each time you choose to do these little things, you're casting a vote for the type of person you want to be. You're choosing to be someone who values discipline, order, and respect for oneself and one's environment. But why focus on these small acts? Because they're within everyone's reach. Not all of us can control the major events in our lives, the upheavals, the unexpected turns, but we can control how we respond to the start of each day, how we treat our immediate surroundings, and how we prime ourselves for whatever lies ahead. This is Stoicism in action, focusing on what's in our power to control and letting go of what isn't. Moreover, these practices aren't just about building discipline for discipline's sake. They're about cultivating a mindset that's prepared for life's bigger challenges. If you can commit to these small acts of discipline, you're training yourself to uphold your commitments in more significant areas. You're sharpening your ability to follow through, to remain steady in the face of adversity, and to approach life with a calm, collected demeanor. Qualities that define the Stoic ideal. So, as you consider the role of discipline in your life, start small. Look for those everyday opportunities to practice self-control and order. Remember, it's in these moments in the quiet of the morning, when you decide to rise and face the day with intention, that your character is forged. These practices are not just chores or tasks. They're rituals imbuing your day with purpose and your life with a sense of direction and meaning. The idea here is simple, yet profoundly impactful. Sharing your goals with someone who not only supports you, but also holds you accountable, can significantly amplify your chances of success. It transforms a personal journey into a shared adventure, making the path to fulfilling your morning routine and, ultimately, your life's purpose less daunting and more enjoyable. Think of your accountability partner as your ally in the pursuit of self-improvement. This person is there to remind you of your commitments when the warmth of your bed feels too comforting to leave in the early hours. They're there to encourage you when progress seems slow and to celebrate your victories, no matter how small. This relationship is a two-way street. It's about mutual support and encouragement, grounded in the understanding that we're all striving to be the best versions of ourselves. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, often emphasize the importance of community and relationships in the development of character and virtue. They believed in the power of wisdom shared, in learning from one another, and in the strength that comes from knowing you're not alone in your struggles. Finding an accountability partner in today's world is a nod to this timeless wisdom, recognizing that while the journey towards self-discipline and purpose is personal, it need not be solitary. Moreover, an accountability partner can help you see blind spots in your routine or approach that you might miss on your own. They can offer new perspectives and insights that can catalyze your growth in unexpected ways. This partnership is about more than just checking in to see if you woke up on time or followed through on your morning meditation. It's about engaging in meaningful dialogue about what's working, what isn't, and how you can both support each other in making adjustments. So how do you find this accountability partner? Look for someone who shares your commitment to growth and self-improvement. This could be a friend, a family member, or even a colleague. The key is to choose someone you trust, someone with whom you can be open and honest about your goals, struggles, and successes. Once you found that person, be clear about what you're hoping to achieve and what kind of support you need. Set regular check-ins and be there for each other, offering encouragement, advice, and when necessary, a gentle nudge back on track. Remember, finding an accountability partner is about more than just external motivation. It's about building a relationship that inspires and uplifts both of you. It's about creating a shared space where honesty, vulnerability, and mutual support are valued and nurtured. In this space, your morning routines and broader life goals become intertwined in a collective effort towards living a more intentional, disciplined, and fulfilling life. The Stoic practice of reflecting on mortality is a call to action, a prompt to live our lives with purpose and intention. It encourages us not to squander our time on trivialities, but to concentrate on creating a meaningful legacy. Every morning when we wake up, we're presented with a fresh opportunity to engage with life in a meaningful way, to contribute positively to the world around us, and to pursue personal growth and fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often wrote about the fleeting nature of life, emphasizing the importance of living virtuously and making the most of the time we have. This wasn't meant to be somber. Rather, it was a liberating realization that freed him from petty concerns and allowed him to focus on his duties as emperor and as a human being striving for virtue. The idea is that by keeping the end in mind, we're more likely to live our lives with purpose and clarity, prioritizing the things and relationships that truly matter. Remembering death in the context of our morning routines transforms how we approach each day. It's not just another day, it's a day that we've been gifted, one that's not guaranteed to anyone. This realization can profoundly impact how we choose to spend our time, the activities we engage in, the relationships we nurture, and the legacy we strive to build. It's a reminder to live fully, to love deeply, and to leave the world a little better than we found it. Moreover, this Stoic practice helps us maintain perspective in the face of life's inevitable challenges and setbacks. When we remember that our time is limited, the daily annoyances and obstacles lose much of their power over us. We become more resilient, more focused on our long-term goals, and less likely to be derailed by temporary difficulties. It's a practice that fosters gratitude for the present moment and inspires us to make the most of it. So how can we incorporate this Stoic principle into our daily lives? It begins with a moment of reflection each morning. Consider the day ahead as a blank canvas, an opportunity to contribute positively to your life story and to those around you. Ask yourself, if this were my last day, would I be proud of how I'm choosing to spend it? This doesn't mean living in a constant state of existential crisis, but rather cultivating a deep appreciation for the now, for the opportunity to live, learn, and love. In embracing the Stoic practice of remembering death, we're not focusing on the end, but on the present and how we choose to live each day. It's a powerful antidote to complacency and a reminder to live our lives with intention, purpose, and gratitude. So let's greet each morning with the awareness that it is a gift, an opportunity to craft a life that's rich in meaning and aligned with our deepest values. This is the essence of living stoically, of making the most of our finite time in this world to create a legacy that endures. We're often told to focus on the positive, to visualize success and happiness in order to attract them into our lives. However, the Stoics, in their profound wisdom, offer a different perspective that's not only practical but incredibly empowering. Negative visualization isn't about pessimism. Rather, it's a tool for resilience, preparation, and ultimately, greater appreciation of the present. The essence of this practice is to periodically imagine the challenges, losses, or difficulties you might face in life. This could range from minor inconveniences like a missed bus or a rainy day to more significant hardships such as the loss of a job or a loved one. The purpose isn't to dwell on these scenarios in a way that breeds fear or anxiety, but to mentally rehearse how you would cope with such situations should they arise. This process of visualization prepares you emotionally and mentally, making you less susceptible to being thrown off course by life's inevitable ups and downs. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, they all believe that by contemplating the temporary nature of everything outside our control, we could cultivate a deeper sense of peace and resilience. This practice encourages us to focus on what we can control: our responses, our attitudes, and our actions. Incorporating negative visualization into your morning routine can transform how you approach your day. Instead of stepping out the door blind to the potential challenges ahead, you're mentally equipped to face them. It's like a mental training session where you strengthen your resilience muscles, so when life inevitably throws a curveball your way, you're not knocked off your feet. You've already rehearsed this moment in your mind and can draw upon your pre-visualized strategies to navigate through it. Moreover, this practice has a beautiful, somewhat paradoxical effect. It enhances our gratitude for the present moment. By imagining life without some of the things we take for granted, we come back to reality with a renewed appreciation for them. It's a reminder of how much we have to be thankful for right now. In this moment, this isn't about dwelling in fear of loss, but about using the thought of it to deepen our appreciation for the here and now. So how do we practice negative visualization in a healthy, constructive way? Start with a few moments in the morning to contemplate potential challenges of the day or broader future possibilities. Visualize how you would ideally respond, what strengths you would draw upon, what lessons you could learn, and how you could grow from the experience. Then let go of the visualization and proceed with your day, carrying with you a sense of preparedness and an enhanced appreciation for your current circumstances. Incorporating gratitude into our lives, especially as we end our day, can have a transformative impact on our well-being and outlook. Keeping a gratitude journal is a beautifully simple yet profoundly effective way to cultivate this sense of appreciation. It's about taking a few moments before we sleep to reflect on the day and jot down a few things we're grateful for. This could be anything from a kind gesture from a stranger, a beautiful sunset, the completion of a challenging task, or simply the comfort of our bed waiting to embrace us at the end of a long day. The act of writing down what we're grateful for shifts our focus from what's lacking in our lives to the abundance that's already present. It's a practice that aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings, which emphasize focusing on what we have rather than what we don't, on what's within our control rather than what isn't. This shift in perspective not only sets the stage for a peaceful night's sleep, free from the turmoil of unfulfilled desires or lingering frustrations, but it also primes our minds to begin the next day with a sense of purpose and appreciation. But why end the day with gratitude? Because it allows us to close our day on a note of positivity, regardless of the challenges we may have faced. It's a way of reaffirming the good in our lives, of finding peace even in turmoil, and of nurturing a mindset that sees opportunities for growth and joy in every circumstance. This nightly practice of gratitude creates a ripple effect, influencing not just how we sleep, but how we wake up and approach our mornings. It transforms our first thoughts of the day from groans over the alarm clock to a quiet anticipation of what the new day holds, what new things we might discover to be grateful for. Moreover, this practice of appreciating our life extends beyond our personal sphere. It enhances our relationships as we become more attuned to the value of those around us and more expressive of our appreciation for their presence in our lives. It's easy to overlook the power of gratitude, especially when the pressures of modern life keep us focused on what's next rather than what's now. But in reality, gratitude isn't just a feel-good sentiment, it's a discipline, a practice that rewires the mind to find contentment regardless of external circumstances. The Stoics understood this deeply. They recognized that while we may not always control the events of our lives, we can always control our perception of them. And what better way to shape that perception than by ending each day in a state of gratitude? When we take a moment to reflect on what went right instead of obsessing over what went wrong, we train ourselves to approach life with a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. Think about how most people end their day, often exhausted, scrolling through their phones, dwelling on unfinished tasks, or mentally replaying stressful moments. This kind of routine primes the mind for worry rather than rest, creating a cycle of unease that carries into the next morning. But imagine instead taking a moment to pause, to acknowledge even the smallest victories of the day. Perhaps it was a meaningful conversation, a lesson learned, or simply the ability to face challenges with resilience. This act of recognition isn't about pretending that life is perfect. It's about seeing that even in imperfection, there is always something to appreciate. And when you cultivate this habit, you begin to realize that gratitude isn't just a reaction to good fortune, it's a way of perceiving life itself. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to be grateful for even the simplest things. Waking up, having another day to live, being able to think, to learn, to act with virtue. This wasn't because his life was easy. In fact, he faced more hardship than most of us ever will. But he understood that gratitude was a source of strength, a way to ground himself in what truly mattered. When we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have, we become less dependent on external circumstances for happiness. Instead, we create an internal foundation of resilience, one that remains steady no matter what life throws our way. And this brings us back to the power of mornings. The way we end our day directly influences how we begin the next. If we go to bed with a mind filled with appreciation, we wake up with a heart that is already open to the possibilities of the new day. It's a cycle that feeds into itself, a practice that strengthens not just our mornings, but our entire approach to life. Because at its core, Stoicism isn't about controlling the external world, it's about mastering our inner one. And when we take control of our perception, when we choose gratitude over complaint, intention over reaction, we step into each day not just surviving, but thriving. This is just one of many ways Stoicism can transform your daily life, and there is so much more to explore. If you're ready to deepen your understanding and apply these principles even further, check out our Stoic Directions routine playlist right here on the screen. And if this message resonated with you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's build a community that values wisdom, resilience, and growth. Here's to mornings filled with purpose and a life shaped by gratitude. Thank you for being part of Stoic Directions. See you soon.